Hi, everybody, and here again for my fourth installment of my chat with my amazing friends. Today I have the honor and pleasure of talking to Karen Yaworsky from Yaworsky Wellness. Sorry, Karen, I'm butchering your last name.
That's okay. You're not
Karen
the
and
first
I
one.
have known each other for a really long time. I think we met when we were both trainers at Good Life, actually. And Karen's a wonderful, caring human being that does a lot of great work within the wellness industry. So, Karen, welcome
Thank
to
you.
our chat. If you could take a couple of minutes and maybe introduce yourself to our listeners.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me. This is very exciting. It's my social hour right now in the lockdown. So as Anna mentioned, my name is Karen Yaworsky. I am the owner of Yaworsky Wellness. I have a thriving online and in-person business. I've moved a little further away from just being a personal trainer where Anna and I first met, and very much have gone down the holistic approach to taking care of ourselves. And I did that because to me, it just makes sense. Moving our body is very important, but also eating well is very important, and looking at the full picture, our lifestyle, how we're managing stress. So combining all of these things together, and that's what I bring forward for my clients in the programs that I do with them, both in person and online.
Awesome, wonderful. And I've also, Karen does these amazing cooking seminars that I've attended each one, and they're amazing. So she's very knowledgeable. So during this COVID self-isolation period that we're in, Karen, clearly because you do a lot of stuff virtually anyway, I take it that you've been able to still help a lot of your clients through all this when we're staying home safe.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for technology
For
to
sure.
provide us with these opportunities to stay connected right now. Right now, I feel like it's more important than ever to reach forward to people that you feel help bring you up, that you trust, that can offer value to your life. And what's been really interesting is my online communities are very active these days. Everybody's online. So it's actually been really enjoyable to be able to show up for them, and there's
Mm,
a higher level of engagement. People are really interested, and this time that we now have available to us, people are tuning in to gather the information to really learn how to take care of themselves. So
mhm.
there is a greater level of engagement these days, which I love.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Um, So here's the thing, and I know I want to touch upon movement today with you and also nutrition and sort of the overlook of all of that. But um, like a lot of people who were used to moving outside of the home, like for me, I told you recently that I have a really hard time working out at home. I don't know why. It's this mental
Mhm.
thing for me. It's like I have to be out of the house to get a really good workout. Um, so for other people who may be like me, like-minded, what suggestions or ideas can you give people on how to still stay moving and healthy from home? Do you have any other clients who sort of struggle with that, and what suggestions have you given them?
Yeah, so the idea of working out at home for most people, it doesn't happen. It just stays as an idea. People buy exercise equipment and it collects dust or becomes a really great laundry hanger, and people don't use it. And I understand that. Home is for chilling, and most people like to get out of the home to get the work done, whether that's office work or physical work. There's a disassociation there. Now we got to figure it out. And so there's a lot of different ways, in my opinion, to be able to make that possible. Number one, use outdoors. Outdoors is a beautiful escape. Go for a walk, go for a bike ride, dig out the rollerblades, use your protective gear. This is not a time to hurt yourself, but get out and enjoy it, explore it. It's one of the only things that we have available to us right now, and it can heighten everything. It can really enrich the experience of having more time to be able to get out and do these things that maybe you haven't done in years. I've
Right.
taken my bike out more times in the past few weeks than I did all season last year, which is
Mhm.
amazing. So that would be where I would start.
Okay.
But today, for example, I'm looking out the window and it's snowing right now. This is not enjoyable for anybody. So if you're working out at home, there's so many resources available to you. To me, there's always an option. But I do suggest that you set up a space, have a dedicated workout space with minimal distractions. That's your new workout zone. Have a mini gym, and you don't need a lot of equipment. I host free workouts every Wednesday at 11 a.m. And I send out an email with a Zoom link, and it's zero equipment. 30 minutes, a little bit more, 30 to 45 minutes, zero equipment, whether it's yoga, whether it's strength, whether it's athletic conditioning. There's a lot you can do if you're dedicated to it. And then simple things like exercise bands can go a long way. It takes up a minimal amount of room. It's a minimal cost, and you can do so many different things with that. So to me, there's always an option.
Yeah, and thank goodness that we're going through all this with the technology that we have, right? Because there's so many things available. You just have to look. And how would people find you for the Wednesday at 11 workout?
So they're a live stream into my free Facebook group.
Okay.
So I host them there, but for other people who don't use Facebook, or for male participants, because it is a women's only group, I send out a mass email in the morning with the link inviting everybody to join me. And it's just a Zoom link, just like we're doing here.
Okay, great. So people can contact you for that email. That
Yeah.
would be great. Okay. So the other thing, I've been noticing this, we all have all these like funny memes about the COVID-15, right? Where we're all at home and we're all baking bread because there's no flour available anywhere in Ottawa right now. And we're taking the time to make all these amazing meals, which is great. I'm doing it with my kids as well. It keeps us active and keeps us engaged with time with ourselves. But you know, at the end of this, we all may come out of this a little heavier than we were when we started. So maybe some suggestions or some ideas about how we can still do that, but be thinking a little bit more about the healthy food that we're putting in our bodies.
Yeah, the memes are very enjoyable. I do appreciate seeing them for a little bit of laughter, but there's truth, 50% truth to every joke, right?
Right.
And this is happening, and people are indulging, and certainly with comfort food these days. It's a very stressful time, and I understand that to a degree. Maybe the first week, maybe the second week, but we're moving into a different phase now. We have to get comfortable with this new normal, and when this is over, it's going to be summer. People need to remember that. There are going to be shorts. We do want to go back to the beach. We do want to wear tank tops. So, keeping that in the back of our minds, I actually see this as such a beautiful opportunity to be able to develop habits in the kitchen that are going to feed your body well, encourage, healthy digestion, a healthy body weight, and experimenting with things that you haven't done before. A lot of people are reverting back to their, favorite family recipes to bring them some comfort. But what about exploring different recipes? Maybe going down a whole foods path and getting really creative in the kitchen, and use this as an opportunity to learn how to treat your body differently. Because the other thing to keep in mind with this is collectively, we are all going through a very traumatic experience. There are emotions attached to this that a lot of people are trying to avoid feeling. And that's a very concerning thing, and we're doing that through baked goods and sweets and treats. But, learning how to nourish our body in a way that we're not trying to suppress anything is a really healthful habit. And understanding how even that can start to diminish the stress response on your body to help give your body the tools it needs to cope from this traumatic experience that we are all going through. Less of a desire to suppress it, but more of an intention of supporting it, and being really committed in the kitchen to treating ourselves well. Like in normal life, the biggest thing that holds people back from embracing a healthy lifestyle is time. We've been given a gift right now, and I know that's hard to see, but this time that we have on our hands can be used in a really productive, healing way if we approach it with that set of eyes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good point. And even for people who are working out there, and I know several people who are working really long days, good nutrition, even more important, right?
Mhm.
Because not only are they stressed with the situation that we're living in, but they're also working really long hours. And if they're not feeding their bodies properly, it's
It
not
can be
adding.
detrimental. It really
Yeah.
can. And, this is a time when our health needs to be of paramount. We
Hmm.
really need to take a really close look at what we're doing and how we're treating our bodies. How healthy are we? If something
Hmm.
like this crosses our path, is our immune system going to be able to fight it off? Or
Right.
if we do catch it, how detrimental is that going to be? Some
Right.
people have zero symptoms, and for other people, it's a very different story.
Yeah.
So I feel it's our personal responsibility to give our body all the tools and all the help and all the support that it needs to fight off whatever comes in its path. And we do that through clean foods and
Right.
ample nutrition.
Yeah. But aren't clean foods boring, Karen? Isn't
Anna,
eating
you've been
healthy?
to my workshops.
Is
I
it?
feed you cheesecake.
I'm being the devil because I know some people are thinking this, like, clean eating is boring. It's bland. It doesn't taste good.
You know what? It
I
can
know
be.
that's not true, but
And it absolutely can be. If you're
mhm,
eating boiled chicken and broccoli, that's super boring. I don't
yeah,
recommend that for anybody. But like I was saying, get creative,
yeah.
and explore different spices, different textures, different colors. Pretty much everything is still available to us.
Hmm.
Pinterest has a boatload of recipes. I collect them like it's my part-time job. And, getting in and exploring with some different flavors. If you need some inspiration, contact me. I will challenge you to make sure that you are making foods that satisfy your taste buds, and are good for your body. That's really what I pride myself on, because I refuse to eat boring, bland food. There's
Hmm.
no point. Food is supposed to be enjoyed, and eating clean can still be comforting.
Hmm.
Eating a chocolate cheesecake made minus the cheese, and just with some really wholesome ingredients, you still have that beautiful flavor profile, very rich in texture, and flavor. Your taste buds are happy, your stomach is happy, and your mood and your energy are stable.
Yeah, and you know what I'd like to add? I not recently, probably about a month ago, had this question to Karen myself because I was feeling like I needed some comfort food. But the comfort food I was eating wasn't making me feel very good physically or mentally and emotionally. And so she, passed on some recipes that were fantastic and I made them and they were so good. Kids loved them. And I felt there's this thing about when you eat really good food that's good for you, it's just you feel so good. You feel like
You do.
so
I see that as even another opportunity for us to feel good these days.
yeah.
There's so much to feel uncertain about and question, but finding these different opportunities to have something good happen and eating well and you feel good. Most
Hmm.
times when people eat, like a pint of ice cream, for example, it feels really freaking good in the moment. But about 20 minutes later, it feels really horrible, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But if we can still have that moment where we feel good and our taste buds are happy, and then 20 minutes later, we're still feeling good, and the next day, that's a win-win
Exactly.
in my eyes.
Exactly. And the other thing I wanted to bring up before we close off is the whole mental health perspective of this. I think we are all now sort of at the place that we know what the new normal is, and we've adjusted to schedules, we've adjusted how to go grocery shopping and all that stuff. So now I'm finding a lot of my friends and just people that I know is the how to keep mentally sane. And I'm, for me as well, because I have issues with anxiety too, is I find that when I'm eating well, sleeping well, hydrating well, moving, my mental health is so much better. And I can tell it's like when I get up in the morning and I'm not feeling very great mentally, it's like, okay, I can almost tie it to what I've not been doing properly, what I've been doing incorrectly. So again, I think during this time that we're in right now, food movement and all that kind of stuff, which seems to some like, that's not really important. It's so important.
To me, it's the most
Like,
important thing right
yeah,
now. You know, um, Even though we've adjusted to the new normal, it doesn't mean we like it. And it
no, for
doesn't mean
sure.
there's not emotions attached to that, but
Mm-hmm.
recognizing that most of us we have the tools to be able to manage some of those emotions, through movement, through healthy nutrition, through things like meditation, and through reaching out to people. It's so important. And I think I think in times like this, when everything is cloudy and everything is uncertain, having those things that ground us and being able to see through the clouds to these tools that give us the opportunity to feel a little bit better. It's
Yeah.
not going to end what's happening, but it's going to give us the tools to cope with it better.
Yeah.
Because we have to.
Yeah. And I think too, also to help us feel a little bit more in control, right?
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And something that I've been doing with some friends, and I thought was a great idea, is to do like Zoom calls, and you're cooking something together. So you're making the same dish, but I'm making it at my house and you're doing it at your house. And it's a really good way to stay connected with people, have some fun with food. So again, just trying to think of some things that people can do to, I don't know, have fun with this at the same time as realizing that it's necessary. So that's really awesome. I think that's all I had to ask you specifically, but did you have anything else that you wanted to add, Karen?
I think during this time, one thing to try to strive for on a daily basis is finding a moment of joy. And I think that's super, super important because we're all going through a really difficult time with a lot of uncertainty. And yes, I want people eating well and moving well, but I want people having fun. This isn't the life that we thought we'd be living in 2020, but it's still our life. And we still, want to live a fulfilled life regardless of the restrictions that are placed on us. So getting creative with yourself, with your community, obviously that's probably online right now, but trying to find moments of joy. That might be a walk in the park. That might be a Zoom call where you share a meal with someone. I ended up in costume the other night on a Zoom call with my sister, and we certainly had a lot of laughs, but getting creative and still finding those moments of joy in your life.
That's really important to remember. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Karen, so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I know you're a busy person. And for anyone who wants to get in contact with Karen, I will have her details at the end of the video. You can also reach her through me if you'd like. So thanks again for your time, Karen. I appreciate it.
You're quite
And
welcome. Thanks for
I
having
look
me.
forward to seeing you soon in person whenever this is
Yeah,
over.
no kidding.
Thanks so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.